What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. We got a ton of new information in this video from Nike and Jordan brand, but running down some of those highlights, there's new images of the Air Jordan 4 White Cement and the Air Jordan 12 Flu Game. Way better images, as well as some additional details for both, which I'll talk about later on in the video. As well, we have a first look at the Air Jordan 12 Melo. Now, there's a lot more from Jordan brand in this video, and from Nike, there's a ton as well. And now, let's jump into the news. In the last video, I went over the A Ma Maniere Nike Air Force 1 Low in black, but they're also going to drop a pair in all white. So what's shown is a mock-up, however, I do believe that they'll look something similar to this, and the actual colorway is white, white, and white. Oddly enough, these two A Ma Maniere Nike Air Force 1 Lows will drop during different seasons. The black pair will drop in spring, this one will debut in fall. Now, it isn't known if this is a new While You Were Sleeping collection or if it's an entirely new collection that will drop in 2025, but more than likely the shoes will feature a premium makeover. Replacing Air on the midsole, we could have A Ma Maniere branding, and then the A could be debossed on the heels. So this is more so of a heads up that this shoe is on the way. And like I mentioned, they're going to drop fall 2025, which means a release will take place between July in September, and the retail price will be $150. Recently, some new photos popped up of the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Galaxy, and with these photos, it shows that the outsole will glow in the dark. Most of us already knew that, but these are just some clear images showcasing what we can all expect. Now, this shoe was a bit weird because initially they were supposed to drop in spring 2024, and then they got pushed to summer 2024, and then I believe at that point Nike was going to hold them off until 2025, which wound up being the case, and now they're going to debut in February. And the release looks like it's going to be for NBA All-Star Weekend, although we still don't have a specific release date. We should be getting one soon though. Now, this is definitely an iconic shoe. They first dropped in 2012, part of the All-Star collection. Some pairs that released alongside this shoe is the KD4, the Kobe 7, the LeBron 9, the Dunk High, and the Air Flight 1. I know I'm missing some. That was probably one of the best All-Star lineup releases from Nike. When they initially dropped, they were super limited, only available at House of Hoops locations, and not every location got a pair. This time around, when they do release, they are going to be limited. They're labeled a quick strike, so they're not going to be available at all retailers. So they're still going to be limited, although it's not going to be as limited as the first release. So that does give some people hope, at least I hope so. But there's a ton of hype for this pair, so obtaining them for retail is going to be difficult. Now, like I mentioned, February 2025 is when they're expected to drop, and the retail price will be $240. As most of you know, there's 5 colorways in the upcoming Supreme Nike SB Dunk Low collection or pack, whatever you want to call it, and a pair that is my least favorite from the collection, but hey, some of you may like it, is the white and metallic silver pair. Now, this pair is really clean. I don't mean that in a good way because I'm not a fan, but hey, if you're a fan, don't let me steer you away from them. They follow in the theme as the other pairs. It features the number 94 embroidered by the heel, which represents when Supreme was founded. This pair is said to have 3M reflective detailing on the swoosh, so that part is different from the other pairs as well. It'll have a leather upper. Now, in some of these photos, if you look closely, the Nike SB branding on the tongue is metallic silver, so it has like this shimmer to it. They will come with red insoles, as well as a red Supreme and Nike SB hang tag. Supreme branding is also debossed onto the midsole. And the same metallic silver threading that it's used on the tongue label is also used for Nike across the heels. Finishing the look is a white midsole and a gray rubber outsole. So just like the other pairs, this one is expected to debut in May 2025, and the retail price is $135. At the time of recording, for sure, all pairs will drop at Supreme locations and online, but it isn't known if this pair or the others will be available at skate shops and on the sneakers app. But once I have that information, I definitely will make sure to let you guys know. In 2024, Lil Yachty dropped his own Nike Air Force 1 Low. That pair was known as Concrete Boys and came dressed in a white and navy colorway. Now for summer 2025, Lil Yachty will drop another Air Force 1 Low, and this time it's going to be more vibrant. So they're being called Lucky Green for now due to the colorway, which is Lucky Green, Mystic Red, and University Gold. Now, although it's not 100% for sure on this, but some are saying that the inspiration for this shoe comes from Bape, which is really odd. Since last I heard, Nike was suing Bape. I don't know what's going on with that lawsuit, I'll be honest. I don't know if it's over or not, or it's ongoing. But you guys might remember in the mid-2000s, even today, Bape was releasing the Bapesta, which is basically a knockoff of the Air Force 1. They would cover their shoes in like vibrant colors, and they were constructed with patent leather. So kind of like what we have here. We have a vibrant makeover and the use of patent leather on the overlays. Now, just a heads up, I forgot to mention this early on. Shown is a sample, so the retail pair may look different, but it features green patent leather on the overlay. We have red patent leather on the swoosh, and then the base, it appears that it's going to be leather. Now, one thing I do like about this pair is that behind the swoosh, we have that bit of green, which has a metallic finish. And then we have the Concrete Boys logo by the heel. Other details on this pair includes a yellow midsole and a red rubber outsole. At the time of recording, we only had the one image, but soon I'm sure we'll get additional photos. But this pair is expected to drop summer 2025, which means a release will take place between April and June, and the retail price is $130. In my opinion, this is a dope pair. I know I said that about a lot of pairs and people are commenting that, but I like a lot of different sneakers. I can't help it. If I like it, I like it. But we have the Nike Air Max 95 Pink Foam returning in April 2025. So this isn't an OG colorway, but it does feature the OG blocking that's used like on the Neon pair, which will also be returning this year. So this pair first launched in 2020. Only 5 years later, we'll be able to purchase again. And from what I'm hearing and seeing, a lot of people are hyped about this shoe. And just as a heads up, as some of you may have expected, this is a women's exclusive release. So the pair will feature a black, pink foam, white, and reflective silver colorway. Basically, this is like the OG neon pair, but instead of green, we have pink. It does feature gradient gray across the ribbing. We have white mesh up top. Pink foam lands on the eyelets and placed within the Air Max unit. As well, it forms the swoosh by the heel, branding on the insoles. And then we have a black midsole and a matching rubber outsole. These are definitely nice, and they are expected to drop April 2025, and the retail price is $180. 2025 will bring us a lot of nice releases of the Air Force 1 Low. In this video, I've gone over 2 so far. This will be the 3rd, and we have another Terror Squad Nike Air Force 1 Low dropping. This pair is known as University Red. So for this shoe, the upcoming colorway will be white and University Red. Now what's shown could be what's releasing, but it isn't confirmed yet. This pair was actually seen on the feet of Fat Joe at the 2023 BET Awards. So I expect them to resemble this, and if that's the case, the shoes will feature white leather across the base, and then we'll have University Red on the overlays, swoosh logos, and the rubber outsole. The pair also features the TS logo embroidered in white on the lateral side, and then JC, which stands for Joey Crack, is embroidered on the heels. Other details on this shoe is a white midsole and red on the Air branding. Now, one thing I've always liked about the Terror Squad releases is that they feature a simple color blocking. These blockings definitely remind me of the early 2000s. And yes, a lot of these collabs, they're not really going over the top. They're keeping things a bit simple. But I think for the Terror Squad releases, this is fitting for them. But for this pair, they are currently expected to drop on August 1st, and the retail price will be $150. 2025 will bring us a ton of Nike Kobe releases, and we have another Team Bank pack dropping, and this time around it'll be on the Kobe 9 Elite Low Protro. Now in 2024, Nike released the Kobe 8 Protro Team Bank series, which for those who don't know, the Team Bank nickname comes from shoes that have like a simple color blocking that could be matched with team uniforms. There was a period of time where schools could actually order certain shoes in their team colors. Some of you might remember in the East Bay catalog, they had a ton of those type of sneakers available. Some of them were better than others for sure. I believe for volleyball too. But we have a total of 5 pairs part of this new Team Bank series, and all of the images shown are mock-ups. It's not accurate how they're going to look. And the first pair is known as Wolf Gray, and it features a wolf gray and white colorway. The second comes dressed in black, university gold, and white, which could have a Hollywood Nights-like theme. The third features white, court purple, and white. This pair could be a tribute to the Lakers, a Lakers home pair. The fourth features Game Royal in white. And then the fifth will feature University Red in white. Now, since they are elite models, they'll feature Flyknit throughout and a Lunar Lawn midsole. Again, all the pairs are mock-ups, so we don't know how they're going to look. But if you're chasing all of the Kobe releases in 2025, it's definitely going to be an expensive year. It seems that Nike Basketball has upped the amount of releases that will debut. But as for a specific release date, unfortunately, we don't have one, but they are expected to drop in fall 2025, which means that all these pairs will drop between July and September. Also, the retail price will be $210 each. If you watched my last video, then you heard me talk about the Nike Air Trainer SC High Auburn returning, and I mentioned that there was another pair that I needed to confirm before I talked about it, and that other pair is the Los Angeles Rams. So this isn't an OG colorway. They were first released in 2020. Now, for those who don't know, Bo Jackson did not play for the Rams. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. However, he did play for the Los Angeles Raiders. At that time, the Raiders were in LA. They bounced around from Oakland to LA to back to Oakland again, I believe, and now they're in Vegas. So this is the reason why I believe that they made this shoe initially, just a tribute to LA, since he did spend time there, and currently the Raiders are no longer in LA. But the images used is the 2020 release, and the color description is labeled Blue Void and Blue Fury, although there's quite a few different colors used on this pair. But to briefly go over this pair, it features navy leather across the base with perforations, and then we have brown leather on the eye stays. Now we have a vibrant shade of blue on the toe cap and swoosh logos, and if you look closely, it has like this unique textured print. Orange also runs across the mesh eyelets in the eyelet areas. Nike on the heel is outlined in orange, and then we have a white and navy rubber outsole. So for this pair, they're going to drop fall 2025, and the retail price will be $135. I like how they're showing more love to the trainer line. Now, if we can just get the Diamond Turf 2 to return, man, I would be super excited about that. This is my second favorite shoe of January 2025. I was fortunate enough to pick up my number 1 shoe, which is the Air Tech Challenge 2 Racer Pink. Those were available early on Finish Line. I should have them on Saturday, and I'm going to drop probably a short on them. But the second favorite, and this is definitely a must pickup, is the Nike Air Diamond Turf Atlanta Falcons. Now, the only reason I'm talking about them again, because I have been talking about them quite a bit lately, is that official images popped up. And prior to this, we didn't really have a great look. We had some photos that were screenshotted from the Sneakers Live, and it was kind of blurry. These, of course, look great. So this is definitely what you can expect to be released this month. And yes, I said this month. Some people are still reporting that they're going to drop in February, but from what I was told, it's going to be in January. Now, what I like about this shoe is that Nike actually got them pretty close to the OGs as far as the shape goes, the color placement as well. The tongues will also have the OG logo featuring Diamond Turf, the number 24 and 21, his football and baseball numbers, as well as a field goal post. Nike Air on the heel will also be embroidered in gold. We have gold mesh on the panels, which connects to the strap, and that, of course, represents Dion's chain. And yeah, these are just really nice. I'm really excited about these dropping. But as for the release date, they are currently scheduled to drop on January 24th. And the retail price will be $150. Now, at the time of recording, they haven't popped up on the Sneakers app. But just like the Kobe 5 Protro Year of the Mamba, I announced earlier that they would drop on January 9th instead of in February. They weren't on the Sneakers app then, but they're definitely there now. The Diamond Turf should be showing up on the Sneakers app soon. Now, as a heads up, if you missed any of the other times I've talked about them, they are going to be a quick strike. So they're going to be on the limited side. They're not going to be available at any retailer. You can't just walk into a Foot Locker or Foot Action and have them sitting on the shelves. Maybe other colorways will, but I believe Nike is trying to build the hype for the model, which I don't really see them needing to. This is a very popular shoe, a very popular colorway. I feel like they missed the ball here by dropping them as a quick strike. They definitely could be released as a GR, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, everybody who wants to grab these on January 24th, good luck to you. We have more Kobe releases in this video, and official photos popped up of the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Year of the Mamba in University Red. So this is the second Year of the Mamba pair to be released. And this pair is also expected to drop this month, although they have yet to pop up on the Sneakers app. So for this pair, they feature a University Red, black, and metallic gold colorway. And prior to this, we didn't have a ton of images. We had a few decent sets, but I feel like the official photos are a lot better than what we've seen, and it kind of makes me like them. I definitely like the University Red pair over the eggplant, but that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down below. I know most people at one point disliked this shoe because of the large snake that is placed on the panels. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it has grown on me a little bit, but I'm definitely not going to be going after them just because there's so many releases this year, but I don't mind it as much as I once did. But what I think would have been a lot better is if they had the swoosh form a snake. Make it look like the swoosh, but put the snake head on it in some way, shape, or form. Or even the swoosh, they could have had it like a snakeskin pattern that really stood out in gold. Also, on the inside of the tongue, it does have Chinese characters. I'm not sure what it means. So if anybody does know, please let me know down in the comment section below. And then on the insoles, we have his numbers 8 and 24 in gold. So as for the release date, this pair is scheduled to drop on January 18th, and the retail price is actually $200. That will be for the eggplant pair as well. I know I initially reported $190. It turns out they're going to retail at $200. Months ago, I talked about the Nike Kobe 9 Elite Protro Masterpiece returning in 2025, and recently we received a first look at the shoes, and right off the bat, it does look like these are on point to the OG. So as most of you know, this marks the first time that the shoes will retro. This colorway, of course. And they were first released in 2014. So 11 years later, you'll have the chance to purchase again. And the official colorway is black, metallic silver, bright crimson, and volt. So the pair features multicolor flyknit across the base, and then we have black on the overlays. The swoosh is done in white. We also have carbon fiber detailing on the midsole, which is joined by speckled detailing. We have the Kobe Shield logo on the tongue done in volt. Kobe Bryant signature done in red, just above it. On the heels, it reads KB 9th, which of course represents his 9th signature shoe. And then it has 9 red lines, and that is for Kobe Bryant's Achilles surgery he had. The pair will also come with gray on the rubber outsole with some volt detailing. Now, some other details I do like about the shoe is that it kind of has like a quilted pattern on the tongue, and throughout, it kind of looks like it has paint strokes. Now, this is a model that you either love or hate. I know a lot of people like the low version more. The high, it really feels like a boxing shoe. But if you're looking to buy, they are scheduled to drop on February 8th, which is the original release date back in 2014 for this shoe. Also, the retail price is $240. They're also expected to drop in grade school sizes for $140. Let me know your thoughts on the Kobe 9 Elite Protro Masterpiece down in the comment section below, as well just your overall thoughts on the Kobe 9 Elite Protro, the high top version. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and we have better photos of the Air Jordan 11 Low Year of the Snake. Now, it seems that a good amount of you actually are looking forward to picking these up from what I've seen in the comments, which these are definitely dope. And what I like about these images is that it actually shows the iridescent detailing on the snakeskin textured overlay, which runs across the mudguard. Now, I do believe the iridescent detailing is a nod to snakes because certain snakes do have like this iridescent look to them. But other than that, they feature white leather on the upper, that also covers the tongue. The same shade fills in the laces. And then with these images, it does show the outsole, and the outsole features like this milky translucent finish, and it could be iridescent. It kind of looks red in the midfoot area, but that could be due to the lighting and how the photo was taken. Now, just like the Air Jordan 5s, these will come with a special box. It's actually the same as the 5s. It has a gradient finish to it, which is used to represent iridescent. Of course, they can't really put iridescent on a box. Well, I mean, I guess they could, but probably cost more, so they're going to cut the corners on that. But yeah, overall, these look nice in my opinion. I think the 11s look really good when they have that snakeskin texture on the mudguard. And as of now, they are expected to drop on January 23rd, although they haven't popped up on the Sneakers app just yet. The ones have, and the retail price will be $190. Quick heads up on the Air Jordan 3 Valentine's Day. For those who don't know, this is a women's exclusive release, and they recently had a release date change. So initially, they were supposed to drop on February 5th, but now they've been moved forward, so the new release date is February 1st. So a release is not that far away. Now, I am expected to have these in hand pretty soon. I'll probably just do a short video on them, not a full review, just to give you guys a heads up what to expect about them. But the official colorway on these is Wash Coral, Gym Red, and Cell. Some of the unique details about this shoe is that it'll feature metallic red within the elephant print, as well as the top eyelets and a few other locations. And it'll come with a couple charms that are connected to the laces. They will feature the Jumpman branding on the heels, and they have a pink translucent rubber outsole. So, dropping February 1st, and the retail price will be $215. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to be reporting on in Jordan Brand segment, we have new photos of. Certain shoes are going to be more sought after than others, but one of the shoes is the upcoming Travis Scott Fragment Air Jordan 1 Low OG, known as Military Blue. Now, these are probably our best look yet. Just clean photos, decent lighting, and overall, in my opinion, these do look really good. So the shoes will feature white tumbled leather on the upper, and what some may dislike is cell used on the midsole, and then we have muslin on the tongues. So that kind of gives them an aged look. The muslin definitely gives it more of an aged look than the cell. On the medial side of the shoes, it has a bunch of text. Now, I don't know what all this text means, but FA25 means fall 2025. Travis, obviously Travis Scott. Hiroshi, that's for Fragment Design. Hiroshi Fujiwara, that's his brand. And I believe some of those numbers are part of the style code. Now, these are a little bit different than the sample, and the difference lands on the heels. So, on the left heel, we have the Cactus Jack smiley face, and then on the right heel, we have Fragment's double lightning bolt logo. So on the right heel, we have the Wings logo embroidered in white. On the left, we have Cactus Jack. Black and red lands on the Cactus Jack branding on the tongue. And of course, my favorite part, Military Blue, fills in the swoosh, liner, heel tabs, Nike Air on the tongue, and the rubber outsole. You know, I don't usually get excited for Travis collabs, but I really like Fragment Design collaborations, and the overall look of this pair just looks great. But you guys already know how things go. These are going to be super limited. They're going to be hard to obtain, and there's a ton of hype for them. So when they do drop, they will be limited. They'll be available at boutiques, online at the Sneakers app, possibly on Travis Scott's website. And as of now, the release date is set for September 3rd, and the retail price will be $150. Another shoe that seems to have a bit of hype for them is the upcoming Air Jordan 4 Rare Air. Now, I like this shoe. I'm definitely going to be going after them, and it seems that a good amount of you will be as well. But with this shoe, we do have new images, so I wanted to share that with you guys, and these are probably our best look yet. They're product shots from GOAT. The official colorway is black, fire red, deep royal blue, dark smoke gray, and tech gray. I've been a fan of what they're doing with the Rare Air series. They're implementing something different, something unique to each pair. For the Air Jordan 4, we have removable tongue patches. Now, initially what I heard was that 25% of the stock underneath the tongue patch would be gold. I still have not heard an update if that's still the case for this shoe, because if that is the case, that would make people at retailers going through pairs. The gold ones will probably go for more, and of course there's going to be some issues there. But A good amount of people seem to have these early, and nobody I've heard as of yet has a pair with gold. Again, it is limited if that's what it's going to be, because only 25% of the stock would have it. But I think the overall color blocking is like a mashup of the Bread Air Jordan 4, the military blue. The only thing I wish that GOAT did with these product shots is actually take some photos of the different patches, because what I've seen is that they will feature different patches. But for the release details, this pair has jumped around quite a bit. Initially supposed to drop in February, they got delayed until summer, and now what I've heard is that they're going to be released in fall 2025. These were being shown off the sample version at a meeting for the fall 2025 collection from Jordan Brand. Again, that could change, but for now we're looking at fall, and the retail price will be $225. These were supposed to be $215, but they've gone up $10, and the reason for that is pretty much every Air Jordan 4 that features Nike Air branding will go up in price $10. Also, if it's a collaboration, it'll go up $10 as well, so $225 for collabs at minimum. And the regular Air Jordan 4s without Nike Air branding will be at $215. I probably should have included this in my last video, but I wanted to confirm to you guys that the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Varsity Red has been canceled. Now, if you watched my 2025 Air Jordan release dates ultimate guide video, I talked about these shoes and I said that I heard that they potentially were canceled. So don't get your hopes up about these releasing. And just to clear things up, I have received confirmation that they are no longer going to be released. Now, I know somebody else put out the info maybe 3 or 4 days after I dropped my video, but I wanted to double check with my sources, and yes, it has been confirmed they are no longer dropping. So initially they were supposed to drop in February, then they got delayed to summer. And although this was going to be a really dope shoe in my opinion, with the amount of releases coming in 2025, this might have been the best move. Now, I know some people might not want to hear that, and I do apologize, but I eventually do believe that these will release, maybe in 2026, 2027, because it seems that Nike SB and Jordan Brand do have more plans on collaborating. But the image used is a mock-up. This was supposed to be how they were going to look. But yeah, unfortunately, not going to happen. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below if you think Jordan Brand dropped the ball on this and you feel like they should still release, or are you good with them being canceled? New images popped up of A Ma Maniere's upcoming Air Jordan 3 collaboration known as Diffused Blue. Now, the official colorway on these is white, diffused blue, anthracite, and muslin. And this is our best look yet. So, with these photos, there's a hidden detail that we didn't know about prior to. Behind the left heel tab, it reads, "All we have is each other," while the right states, "You need to get comfortable walking alone." So that's pretty dope that it has like a hidden message. And with this detailed look, we get to see some different angles. Also, the packaging. Now, one of the things that I really like about this shoe is the diffused blue used. It has a matte finish to it, which in my opinion, I feel like it looks really clean. That matte finish is also used on the Nike Air branding on the heels. This pair also comes with a quilted liner, as well as blue quilted insoles with a special label with A Ma Maniere branding and some additional text. I can't really make out what it says. And then replacing elephant print, we have suede, something I'm not a huge fan of, but I think the overall color blocking is clean on these and I could look past it. I just feel like these would have looked a lot better if it had elephant print. They also somewhat have an aged look due to muslin being used on the midsole and the back heels. They'll also come with a plastic Nike Air hang tag and a special A Ma Maniere hang tag. On the left tongue, we have A Ma Maniere's A logo, and then on the right is the Jumpman. Now, from certain angles, it does look like the tongue's a bit thinner, but there's an image showing the top view more so to show off the heel tabs, and they look regular. They don't look like they're too thin. But from what I could see, it looks like the tongue does have like a raw finish. It doesn't kind of roll over like traditional Air Jordan 3 tongues. So maybe that's why it looks different. The ankle also looks slightly slimmed down. Something A Ma Maniere did to the Air Jordan 5. But the Air Jordan 5, the OG version, did have a slimmer ankle. So I was thinking that they were going for that approach. But maybe that's just a look that they like to have. But overall, these, in my opinion, is another dope shoe. At the time of recording, these are scheduled to drop on March 15th. The retail price will be $225. Now, more than likely, these are going to be available at A Ma Maniere online and in store. It isn't known if they're going to drop on the sneakers app, but if I had to bet, I would say they are, and potentially additional boutiques. In my last video, I went over the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 Bike Air. In that video, I showed off a first look, and I'm not going to lie, the first look wasn't that great. It looked like it was an all-red shoe. You really couldn't tell what was going on. But now there's a short video, which I will showcase in this video, giving us a better look. So to me, the initial look appeared that the shoes were dressed in all red, but in this video, it actually has more of an orange upper and then red on the mudguard. Now that red used on the mudguard, it also has a textured finish, and it also comes with a white mini swoosh. I think that looks really dope on the Air Jordan 4. As well, we get a preview of the back heel tabs, which reads Bike Air. It looks like the upper is constructed with suede. Orange also covers the laces and most of the tongue and liner. And then we have a little bit of white on the midsole with more red throughout. Now, the official colorway on these is Firewood Orange, Cell, and Cinnabar. But this video, compared to the images we initially saw, it looks a lot better. It looks like it has more details to it. The coloring even looks different. The only thing I wish with this video is that it was a bit longer. I wish it showed off a little bit more. Now, another thing to take note on is that Nigel Sylvester recently showed off the heel tab, which read Bike Air, and I included that image in the previous video. Now, that image looked darker red than the heel tab that is used in this video. Now, some people are saying, why are they different? Are these samples or whatnot? But I really believe it's due to the lighting. I think it's the same heel tab. You could definitely tell that the upper on this shoe is more of an orange hue, and then the shade of red on the back heel tab matches the same red used around the mudguard. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, and as of now, they are currently scheduled to drop on March 23rd, and the retail price will be $225. Alright, so we do have a first look in this video, and it's going to be on the Air Jordan 12 Melo. Now, this is a dope pair. It seems like it's a little bit different in comparison to the OG. I'll go over that in a moment. Now, this isn't an OG colorway. When I say OG, I mean the first release, which took place in 2004. The pair received the nickname Melo due to the fact that it was very, very similar to Carmelo Anthony's PE. He was playing for the Denver Nuggets at that time. His nickname, of course, is Melo, so that's why these were called Melo. Now, these won't feature any Melo branding or anything connected to the Denver Nuggets. And although it uses University Blue, the OG, and the new retro, I feel like the University Blue is a lot brighter in comparison to the OG. The OG, it was more dull. That isn't a bad thing. If you like the brighter look, that's cool. But the actual blocking is on point. Now, the shade of blue used is very similar to the Kids exclusive that dropped back in 2016. Now, the difference on that Kids exclusive pair was that the top two eyelets feature metallic gold. On the 2004 and the 2025 pair, it'll be metallic silver. But as you can see, the shoes feature white leather on the upper. That also covers the tongue, laces, and the mudguard. The mudguard has that basketball, or some call it a reptile, textured finish. And then we have University Blue on the outsole, which comes up a little bit onto the midsole, the branding down the tongue, the liner, and the back heel. Now we do have some black, which fills in the branding on the heel, as well as silver, and the 2-3 is done in white. Now, finishing the look is mostly University Blue on the rubber outsole with white areas. Now, these images are product photos from Size. Size is an authentic retailer. And I got to admit that the shape on these, again, isn't looking really great. It kind of looks like a banana. You can kind of see how it just swoops down. They're a little bit better compared to some of the 2024 releases, but I feel that Jordan Brand needs to actually look into this and maybe fix it going forward. Nonetheless, this is still a dope shoe. I really like it. And this is definitely a pair I do plan on picking up. And as for the release date, they are scheduled to drop on May 17th, and the retail price will be $200. In the last video, I went over a first look at the Air Jordan 12 flu game, and the images weren't that great, to be honest. And I believe it was the same day that I dropped the video that new photos came out, which are a lot better. Again, the shape isn't perfect on these, but with the Flu Game 12s, I don't know if it's the angle or this particular pair, it looks a lot better than the Melo. One thing I do notice is that it's tied a little bit tight when it's factory lace, so it kind of brings just below the eyelets inward, so it kind of gives it that indent. It's not so bad here as some of the other pairs, but it does kind of have that banana shape. And I just want to apologize to you guys. I know you guys don't like me talking about the negative stuff, but I do want to pinpoint some of these things out. I'm still excited about the release. I'm still happy they're dropping. I'm still going to go after a pair, but that's just something I did want to point out. Now, I will say that the red looks very vibrant, and I do believe that's due to the lighting. I don't think the retail pair will be this bright. You can kind of tell with the last image of them taken inside the box. It looks a little more dull. I think that's the right word to say. And as you can see from these images, they will come with the OG box. Now, I did want to clarify something because in my last video, I ran down the history about these shoes, and I'm not going to do it here, but I wanted to clarify that when I talked about the 2009 Air Jordan 12 Flu Game, the pair that features suede, it comes with the sick emoji, I said that it had 97, 98 by the heel, but I was actually incorrect about that. It's actually 97 and 38. And 38 represents the amount of points Jordan scored in the actual Flu Game. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Also, these are expected to be a GR. There's going to be a lot of pairs available. There does seem to be some hype, so I don't know how hard they will be able to get. I guess I'll be able to tell a bit more as we get closer to the release date. They're also expected to drop in full family sizing. I don't have the retail price breakdown for grade school and below, but the retail price in men's sizes will be $210. Now, as for the release date, this pair is currently scheduled to drop on March 1st. So let me know your thoughts about the Flu Game Air Jordan 12 returning. I know some people were kind of thinking that it wasn't going to happen because of the whole Bloodline dropping. Well, first it was supposed to be the Flu Game, then the Bloodline got scrapped, and then the Flu Games were back on. But now that we're getting these first looks, I know people are relieved, but let me know your thoughts down below. So, the same situation with the Air Jordan 12 Flu Game. Right after I dropped my video, new photos of the Air Jordan 4 White Cement popped up. Now, there's an element about this shoe that, in my opinion, is really cool. Some of you may overlook it. I know I did initially, and I will say that Jordan Brand really tried to get this closer to the OG. Now, that element lands on the Nike Air branding on the heel. Now, if you look closely on the Nike Air, it almost looks like it has water spots on it. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Now, what some people may not know is that the 1989 release and the 1999 release both had those water spots on them. I don't believe any of the other retros did, so that's something they're really trying to get true to OG form. Now, the overall shape on these look a lot better compared to the previous images that we saw and in comparison to the 2016 release. One thing I will note is that the tongue is really high on this, and I'm kind of thinking it's the way it's propped up in this image. There might be tissue paper or something propping it up, or a shoehorn or something in there, because those are really high for the 2025 release. The OG pair sits much lower, but in my opinion, even if the tongue is a bit higher, that's not a downfall to me. That's not going to, take me from buying them because I'm 100% going after these, and I'm sure everybody is as well. But I wanted to showcase the new images and talk about the Nike Air branding on the heel because I thought that was really dope. As for the release details, this pair is scheduled to drop on May 24th. The retail price will be $225. They're also expected to be available in full family sizing. It's just that I don't have the retail price breakdown for grade school and below just yet. And let me know your thoughts about this pair returning, as well as the overall look, the shape, these images in general. I know I'm excited. It seems that a lot of people are excited as well. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, speaking of new videos, I thought I was going to drop another news video, but it looks like I'm going to hold off until Monday. But I am going to drop a short either Friday or Saturday. I feel like that short is going to be pretty informative. It's not about a single pair of shoes that I'll have in hand. I'll be saving those for next week. But next week should be another busy week as far as uploads go. So in 2025, expect more content like always. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.